Hi Taurus, welcome to your magic door reading for February 2019. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Okay. Okay, Four of Swords. Taking a timeout, a breather, removing yourself from one of those situations where you're like, okay, cooler heads need to prevail. I feel like there's going to be a Nine of Wands showing up here because I feel like I don't think this is a couple stealing away together. I think this is like, all right, before each of us says something we're going to regret, we need to go to our separate corners. I need some distance from this. I feel like you're mad. I feel like you're staunchly standing in your position. But cooler heads prevail here, and you're probably the one that sets the tone, and you're like, okay, we need to just take a beat here. All right. We've got the Fool, Seven of Wands, Tower, Hierophant, Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and Death. All right. Okay. Well, yeah. I could see why this. Okay. We could have Scorpio, Taurus, Scorpio. So it doesn't have to be those anybody like that. You know, they could have it in their chart somewhere, but it's just that very well, it's heavy duty. It's major arcana and it's not messing around. Okay. What's this Fool about? We got the Six of Wands. That's okay. Yeah, because you can still see everything. Okay, good. So I can, because I want to have room for these. Okay, so we got the Six of Wands and the Three of Wands. It's like you've been trying to work things out for quite some time, and I think there's like well, this right here is saying that the day-to-day, the working, and kind of working towards something and hoping to see that change, it's kind of starting to wear you out. I can see why this rest is needed. And I think this is you throwing in the towel and wanting like a fresh start, a clean slate. This would be in reference to a reconnection of some sort, bridging the gap. Not necessarily reconciliation, just... I don't feel like this is a reconciliation though. But this would be about bridging the gap. So what? That doesn't make any sense. What's this Seven of Wands about? This, again, that bigger person, you setting the tone. It's just Seven of Wands, yeah. Being strategic with your communication. We got the Four of Swords here and the Two of Swords. But this is like, okay, cooler heads prevail. We need to prevail. Sorry, we need to go to our separate corners. But this is strategic communication, strategic movement. Because somebody has the advantage here. So again, with what I said earlier, you're setting the tone. This is about you not finagling in a negative way, but you maneuvering and being strategic with your communication. Someone's on a need-to-know basis. I don't feel like this is about reconnection. I feel like this is like, okay, we need to go to our separate corners for a while because taking this leap of faith with this person for this new beginning has been a lot of work, and I feel like the progress has not been there yet. And you're just like, you know what? It's almost like, all right, we've been together for a while. Let's try this. But then it's constantly in the trying stage, and you're kind of worn out, and you're the one that is setting the tone. And so there's this pulling back and resting. I don't feel like this is you two having this new beginning together and then stealing away, like eloping or going on vacations or whatnot. I feel like this is you kind of being strategic because you're kind of exhausted. This is waiting for those ships to come back in after working, and it's like everybody else on the outside kind of sees this progress, like, yay, all these people are... But then this is a lot of work, and maybe you just have reunited. That's what this is about. Is like, all right, you just reunited, but I feel like you have your doubts, and I feel like I feel like this. That's what this is about. Is you have your doubts, and you're coming. It's subtle, but there's an advantage here. An advantage with information given out, with connection, with, I don't want to say playing hard to get. I just feel like things are not as they appear. There's more going on with you behind the scenes that it might look one way to everybody else. There's a lot of work, but all this work towards either a reunion or reconciliation is kind of exhausting. I'm surprised the Seven of Pentacles hasn't shown up to say, is it worth it? I don't know. I don't feel like, I feel like behind the scenes and emotionally for you, you're wondering if this is worth it, but outwardly, it looks like you two are working on it, but it's strategic. Why? Because there's been some sort of news, or what's this tower about? What's this game changer? This is something that has leveled things, it's disruptive, so if you're working on things over here, it's like this is a reminder to say, no matter what is going on, the wild card could still happen. And I feel like this is saying all of this work, and it could be taken away like that. And why? What is that? What's this tower about? So we've got the Three of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Awesome. Heartache and happiness. What? Are you waiting for something to happen to break you two apart? Just hear me out. You've got this image, not you, but there's an image of you two, things working. All right, if we're talking about reconciliation or reconnection, which I don't think that you want, on the outside it appears like everything is working, but it's like waiting for the payoff, waiting to feel like you finally hit your stride with each other. And this isn't your first rodeo. This isn't your first go around. So internally you're like, gosh, this is a lot of work, and you're setting the tone, you're kind of managing and whatever. And this is about being strategic with your communication, strategic with your things happening, the timing of things happening, all of that. This is the unexpected card. This is the unexpected card. So I feel like it's almost like you're secretly hoping that something will, and this is, that something will get in the way to save you from yourself, because I don't think your heart's in it. I don't think your heart's in this reconnection. I think it's, Taurus, is somebody married? Is that what this is? This is an affair? Because we got heartache and happiness. Like you get your wish over somebody's heartache, or there's some kind of getting a wish, and there's three people involved. Okay, we're talking about an affair, yes? Because this is about a marriage and a transformation. So basically, okay, I don't think this is about reconciliation. I think this is about an affair. We got Three of Wands here. We got Three of Swords. I think someone is waiting for somebody to leave somebody. I think there's three people involved here. I think it's about, you want this new beginning, and you two have been working on things, but when is it going to finally pay off? Things are in secret, and they have to, it's like immediate. You never, it's spontaneous and immediate. You have the advantage because you probably plan or behind the scenes driving everything. And I think you're secretly hoping that this divorce happens, which would probably lead to a lot of heartache, but at the same time, it'd be like, good, it's over. Now you and I, or this person and you, can start progressing. Maybe you've pulled back and laid low because you're just like, you know what, when is this ever going to happen? I secretly want, or I'm hoping here, that maybe that somebody finds out about this so that you two will finally break up, and then we can be happy. We can start getting together, because what's between you and this other person is a marriage and things ending. So I don't think, I think this is about, I don't think this is so much about you two getting back together. I think this is about things being at a stalemate until somebody leaves the other person, because I feel like there's 3 people involved here. What's this Knight of Wands about? Good Lord, that took me 10 minutes. That was confusing. Whew. This is Knight of Wands. Control and a solid foundation. Huh. Interesting. Is this somebody that you've been going back and forth with for years and you're really waiting for it to get off the ground, and it's to the point where you feel like you have the advantage, everything's aligned, it's just the divorce or the breakup for this person and their person has to happen, and then things will be fine? The thing is, though, and we've got Aries here and we got Leo. All right. I think it's going to be, that this disruption could happen, and there could be that sort of where everything kind of falls apart and it's like, okay, now what? Now can we finally have this new beginning and get off the ground? However, I think it's going to be less than what you want. I don't think it's going to be, because we got the Page of Pentacles here and we got the Knight of Swords. So if this person were to end their involvement with somebody else, probably a marriage, they're going to do the same thing to you, because this person, it's all about this. We got ego here, we got ego here. I think this person likes the way, I think vanity is a big deal to this person. I think control is a big deal to this person. That's probably why there's this balancing of they've kept you waiting, and so you got the advantage, but I can see why it took so long, because this is a battle of wills here. You've got someone just as independent and strong and stubborn as you are, Taurus. They're just as headstrong and have conviction as you do. Right now you have the advantage, but if things were to progress, maybe they'd start off hot and heavy, but I feel like this person above all else likes to maintain control, and there's an ego there. What's this Page of Pentacles about? Again with the advantage. Again, fighting, conflict, the advantage. Okay, all right, Taurus. I think this is about somebody that is involved with somebody else and you're waiting for that relationship to end. Right now, it might feel like you have the advantage. There's been this back and forth between, there's been a power struggle for years. Whoever this person is you've been involved with, there is a definite power struggle. It could even be a Scorpio. Could be another Taurus, okay? But you've met your match in that sense, because back and forth we go with the power struggle. We've got somebody that values the way things appear, keeping up appearances, and control above all else. If you were to connect with this person, just you and this other person, it wouldn't be long before they started off for somebody else. So you would never be the only one. You would never be special, okay? Along with an ending that needs to happen for you two to finally be able to connect, Taurus, a transformation would have to happen. Because if you're going to connect with this person the way they are now, it's not going to be stable or steady. It's just a matter of time before this situation is you. You are the one heartbroken, and then they're going off to find somebody else, and on it goes. Okay, we got marriage and death here. Also transformation, new beginnings. But it's like this is somebody that ends with someone and starts with someone else. If you were to get together with this person again, I think it would be less than what you wanted. Well, I'll just leave it here, because they're just as interested as maintaining the advantage as you are. Okay, we got the Seven of Wands here, and we got the Seven of Wands here. They are just as interested in being strategic. It is a power struggle. You're never going to move past, well, I shouldn't say never, but at this time, you're not going to get past it with that person, and this has been going on for quite some time. Okay, and also with this Six of Swords, you're never going to, I don't want to say never, but I keep going. This is an ongoing thing, and it's one of the reasons why the person says that one of the reasons why the person is interested in other, because this whole dynamic here, they only are capable of offering so much. This is a Page of Pentacles. This is somebody that's very interested in keeping control, okay? And so they only offer so much. They only go so far, and they're not willing to go any farther. Why? Because they want to maintain the advantage. And when it starts to get weird, then they start to want to move on. Okay, so this is not somebody that is in it for the long haul. They never were. They never will. Well, I don't want to say never. At this time, and for what I'm seeing here, we got some major arcanas. I don't think this is somebody that is... I think it's just a matter of time before this happens to you with them. I feel like we're talking about 3 people here, and you're waiting for someone to end. And, yeah. Maybe this is you wanting to be able to steal away with them, but I feel like this is you either thinking about pulling back, or you have pulled back in hopes that it would wake this person up and make them realize they're not going to. You're not the only one, and if you are, you won't be for long. I mean no disrespect. I'm not trying to get sassy or snarky, but this is somebody that for now you might be, but it's just a matter of time. They're not willing to offer much. And it's almost like you've gone through all of this working on things and being strategic and sneaking around and fighting and whatever. And it doesn't mean a hill of beans, because they're going to turn around and go back out and do it again. You're not going to take the place of who they were committed to or married to. Unless, I mean, you might, but then they're going to do it to you. All right. Taurus. Well, at least we don't have a pregnancy, right? Good Lord, how long was I talking about that for? January, February. Oh, God. He just said no pregnancy, and then we got child, inner child. Okay, not funny. All right, we got the Taurus. We got the Tower, and we've got Death here. That speaks to transformative energies going on. That speaks to needing to do inner child work, or listening to your gut instinct, your inner child, your higher wisdom, that thing that's nagging at you inside, that thing that's panicking inside, not thing, but you know what I mean. The panicking, like, oh, something's not right, or you know what I mean? And maybe that's why there's this and this intuition here, pulling away to listen to your intuition, that inner child, that thing that's like, something's not right, and I don't know if it will be, and I'm starting to feel like my needs are never going to get met. Listen to that. Whatever keeps presenting and kind of coming up as far as, wait a minute, listen to that. Because I think you might start to know or realize that it's just going to be a battle back and forth always, and it's always going to come up short. You got the Page of Pentacles here. So it's not going to be what you want it to be. I think it's just been something of longevity for you, so that's why there's still the attachment. But I don't think it's going to be what you want it to be once this sort of separation with your person and their person happens, and then you two are able to get together. It's not going to look like what you thought it would look like. It's going to be very like, okay, well, now what? You know? Sensitivity. Again, with the sort of doubling down on listen to your inner... All this right here, the two of High Priestess, inner child, and this Four of Swords, this speaks strongly to needing to go within, listen. What are you sensitive to, or that your sensitivity might be heightened at this time. Your intuition might be on point. And I mean, this is for male or female, but I think you know without knowing. And there seems to be plowing ahead anyway. And all 3 of these, this whole thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, is saying, stop, listen, don't go any further. I feel like it's saying don't go any further. And I feel like you know that, but because of it's a habit, and because it's almost like, no, we're almost to the finish line. Wait a second. There could be this chance of things working out. I think you're starting to realize that it will always be this way, with or without this person being connected to somebody else. There will always be this sort of having to work on things and taking a leap of faith. And I think you know it, but you're still continuing just because of the longevity. that you've had back and forth with this person. To some degree, it's about winning. Like, finally, I'm going to get my, you know what I mean? It's almost like you're staying just so you can finally get your due. You never will. With somebody like this, whoever, you know, whatever, with this type of energy for the person, you're never going to get your due. They will always keep you at what they're more interested in the control and getting more than they give. Maintaining the advantage. You will never get satisfaction from this person. I shouldn't say never, sorry. Satisfaction will be fleeting with somebody like this at this time. And by time, I mean for the next 40 years. Kidding. Okay, Taurus. Also, too, this is a page. So as far as energies and compatibility and what you want with a relationship and whatnot, this is a page. I mean, this is a very young energy. Some might even say immature. So this is somebody that when it comes down to giving and reciprocity and can they handle an adult relationship, the answer would be no. They're at the beginning stage. They probably like it there because it gives them an advantage. The person that cares the least has the most control. You know, the person that's the most clueless or trying to figure things out always, or just, well, what about this? They're constantly in that state of wonderment and learning. And, well, what if they're always being accommodated because you have to be patient. You have to understand and you have to be receptive to their point of view, and that because they're always confused or they're always just wanting to try this. No. With somebody like with this whole energy right here, that's strategic. Taurus. Again, speaking to longevity here, this is about finding your fit, just finding that kismet with somebody, but be careful that you don't change yourself too much just to be able to still keep that bond or belong, to where you start to not be able to recognize yourself, or you're starting to sacrifice too much of yourself. So there might be that connection with, you know, this could speak to that also, that spiritual psychic connection that you might feel with somebody. But please be careful, because this asks the question, are you starting to lose yourself? Are you starting to assimilate too much to where your needs, your wants, who you are, your individuality, even your self-esteem is being sacrificed just to maintain a connection or being allowed into the group per se? And if we're talking about this person, are you having to give way more than you're comfortable with and sacrifice way more than you're comfortable with to still maintain a connection with somebody that's only going to ever give you an offer less than you deserve, that's always going to fall short with the giving in the reciprocity department, okay? And again, this would speak to the fact that you know the answer to that, but that there's been this almost like just sacrificing yourself or accommodating, albeit strategic, is kind of a pattern, or at least with this person, it's just what you've always had to do. It's the nature of the relationship because of the affair. So it might be a very hard habit to break. Just saying. All right, Taurus. 23 minutes. Wow. I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry it took me so long to get it. I wish you luck with this situation. It looks like you're really... I think it's just starting to dawn on you, and you're like, okay, I need to pull back and think about this. So I wish you luck, and I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care.